Lola. Ambassador, student poet ambassador Lola Nakashima-Brooke will be a senior at Davenport Central High School. She was an intern in the Midwest Writing Center's Young Emerging Writers Program in 2001 and 2021 and 2022, and has been published in Atlas Literary Magazine, as well as her school literary magazine, Indigo Inc. As Iowa Student Poet Ambassador, a role which she will fill for a year, Nakashima-Brooke is recognized with the highest writing achievement available to any high school student in the state. It's an honor to present Lola Nakashima-Brooke.
It's at my height for once. That's good. Alright, I'm going to read 3 poems today. I'll start with the first one, and I'll just get right into it because I don't really like talking that much. This one I just called Trees because I'm really bad at titles. There is a spot in the East Village on the corner of Mound and 11th. Now there is patio seating for a restaurant, brown wood and a roof overhead. There used to be trees. I don't remember when they took the trees down. I think it must have been 5-6 years ago. I don't remember 5-6 years ago. I remember that there used to be trees. The trees were taller than the roof that now sits over the patio, boxing people in. A narrow sky. There was one door in and out. I can only look up from the outside. I can only wish to shout up to the people eating and drinking, there used to be trees. I remember it with light, flat paths on the ground, and a little bench painted with flowers, like the ones that grew beside it, trees that touched the sun. But everything tall must have touched the sun back then, for I was just a child. I don't think I'm a child anymore, or I tell myself I used to be one in the same way there used to be trees. The second one here is more of an essay sort, but I like it anyway. There is no way to describe a true epiphany. There is no way to describe a glimpse of pure light. I can say the sun's rays pushed open my eyes and reached out a hand of warmth to guide me, but that can't explain what she did to me. I can say that I was a boat adrift in an isolated ocean of my own creation, that she pulled me to shore and brought me back to a world full of people, that I simply had to tell them about her. A world full of people that knew nothing of her, whose eyes would dart elsewhere when I began to speak of her. A woman who I could not explain, who I could not conjure beside me. There is no way to explain Louise. Her eyes are the same in every picture, you know. A blue as deep as the ocean on a bright day, evenly set looking out at you, framed by a smooth, heart-shaped face, bordered by sandy blonde curls. The expression is the same. I remember seeing it for the first time when I was a young girl who mustered the courage to look into the sun, into the light. I have watched her for years. I've looked into those eyes, and it used to dog me how I could never understand it. She moves through walls, my Louise. She appears at the corner of my eyes in any well-decorated space. She pulls at my shadow, keeps me from running. I'll wonder what I'm doing, what I'm here for, why do I exist? I always end up back somewhere looking for the light, looking to Louise. She remains silent. She waits for me to find the answers to tell her. She could have pulled pollen from the most poisonous of plants and created honey with it. She could have had a conversation in a dark room and her own voice would have turned on the lights. I dragged myself out of bed when the air was still tepid and thick, and bought a cheap wooden frame, painted it, and covered it with paper flowers that smelled of wax, and put a picture of her in it. I put her where she could look at me, where she could haunt me, dog me, pull me out of any stupor I threw myself into. When my room became a void, a hurricane of clothes, Tupperware containers, candles, plastic bags, books, she remains constant. Before exams, I run my fingers over the frame, like the wood will somehow spark some luck into me. In all my desperation, in all my sorrow, I could look to Louise. I could imagine she was looking back at me. I could pray that she was. I suppose I'll keep the frame, the picture of her. Perhaps I'll make more, gather images of her to surround me, to remind me to stay awake, to keep my hands moving. I'll take her across the ocean, I'll take her through the skies. She will stay with me in that frame. Nothing, I imagine, that God or Satan could inflict would part me from it. Louise, you are still out of reach. I am scrambling in the dark to find you. You sit on my bookshelf in a pink painted frame that I bought at Michael's, but you are not there. You are never there, I think. There is only the dream of you in your white dress with the frills, your hair flowing down your shoulders, and I lay on your waist, holding on to you, and we wait out the darkness. You and I, Louise, my sun, my star, my only